Konnichiwa minasan, and welcome back to my channel, but more importantly, welcome back to Reina Sensei, where I either translate weird things into Japanese for you, or I try to teach you something about the Japanese language in hopes that it is somewhat useful for you. For today's Reina Sensei, I actually went about it a different way. I asked my husband, who is now actively learning Japanese, what he found most difficult in learning Japanese, and his initial answer was vocabulary, which totally makes sense because I also have issues with vocabulary. I think that's totally normal for everybody. But he also said that he has issues with pronunciation, and I never realized how big of an issue that may be for a person that has never learned a different Asian language before, and I figured that that might be a really interesting topic to cover since I've actually never talked about pronunciation before. Before I get into the specifics and nuances of pronunciation, I wanted to introduce a language app to you that helped my husband learn Japanese at a much accelerated rate, and that is HiNative. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I've worked with HiNative before, and they've actually changed a ton of their features and upgraded a hell of a lot of things inside of it, so I really wanted to go over it with you, especially because those are the types of things, specifically the feedback things, that really helped Mike learn. I'm first going to show you how to use and navigate the app so you can get familiarized, and then I'm going to go into the pronunciation aspect because this app is awesome for it. HiNative supports over 110 languages, and you can download HiNative on iOS and Android, and you could use it on your browser. The main HiNative experience is free, of course, but you can also get a premium version, which I have, I'm sure you saw, and you could actually test it out before you commit to it, but I feel that the premium version is really crucial for this because you get to hear all of the other pronunciations, as in the answers to all the pronunciations, and that feedback is just so important for learning Japanese. So here is the profile page, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a point system going on, which does make it a lot of fun, and you can set your native languages and the level of fluency you have in them. Mine are Japanese and English, of course, specifically so that I can populate them in the home section right here. Let's actually take a look at one of these. I want to see something that someone already answered. Okay, how about this one? How do you say I understand that feeling in Japanese? That's awesome. An example, desmasu style, sono kimochi wa wakarimasu, sono kimochi wa wakarimasu. That's excellent. I'm definitely gonna give it a thumbs up. Awesome, and whoever asked the question said thank you. I love it. Everybody's super polite, and I feel like this app is really academic. You're not gonna see too many like random things like a social media feed. It actually is very specifically about language. Okay, so this one. How do you say delicioso in Japanese? Okay, so delicioso as in delicious. Because I am an English speaker, I'm gonna kind of answer in my own way. But yeah, let's do this. Oishii in English first, romanized, and then hiragana, and then let's do kanji as well. And let's write it out just in case. And let's also explain that it's not formal and how it's pronounced. Okay. Oishi. I feel like this isn't a very good way to do the phonetic pronunciation, but it's the best I got. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to explain the formality. Perfect. And I feel like this probably has the same nuance. Like, oh, delicious. Oishi. What makes HiNative super duper user-friendly is honestly this little Q button in the middle that says ask. It automatically has question formats for you, so you don't have to think about how you're gonna ask what it is that you wanna ask. It actually just sets it up like this. So how do you say this in Japanese? I can literally put in anything like, how do you say, I love my cats? And post. Awesome. Let's also now ask if something sounds natural. Okay, so I know this is gonna sound silly, but let's see if someone corrects me. Neko wa. And wa is pronounced wa, but it's ha phonetically in Japanese, not phonetically, but written romanized in Japanese. Minna kawaii desu masu yo. Okay, so that's wrong, and I'm hoping that somebody will correct it. I used to tell people that Japanese is actually quite easy and straightforward to pronounce because everything is consonant vowel, and everything is syllabic, so it kind of fits a certain rhythm when you're talking about it. But what I realized, or what I didn't realize, was that when you are speaking Japanese, it's really important to pronounce things very clearly, and as an American English speaker, we say things like tan and car and can't, when in Japanese it's actually more similar to tan and can't. Like the A is harder and longer and not with that kind of like English slang thing going on, American slang thing going on. So when I tell people to pronounce things exactly the way they're spelled out, I really intend for people to read it like Spanish or Portuguese, where you pronounce it exactly how it's spelled, but with those hard vowels. So arigato instead of arigato. It really does matter to put that kind of Japanese, Asian, or like non-American flair to it to really make it sound like it's Japanese that you're speaking. It's also very difficult to figure out where in the word the different emphasis is supposed to go, especially in Japanese. For example, the word kawaii and kawaii not only look like they're spelled really similarly, but they look like they're supposed to be pronounced similarly because of it. And when you're learning on your own and you don't have anyone pronouncing it for you or giving you any feedback, it's totally understandable to kind of accidentally assimilate the two and therefore mix them up. But if you pronounce them very, very cleanly, kawaii and kawaii are unmistakably two different things. There are also about 12 different ways to say the same exact sentence in Japanese because context is crucial, and by that I mean it really depends on the formality level and politeness level you use when speaking Japanese, and it also matters who you are speaking to. So honestly, without a native speaker guiding you or helping you in some way, shape, or form, it's pretty impossible to reach that next level of understanding Japanese. Speaking of politeness levels, let me share my most favorite post I found today. For some reason, they want to know how to say, your wife is not beautiful. But the way I think it's written in Japanese, they want to say like, why in the hell do you think your wife is beautiful? It's got that kind of like aggressive tone to it. おめえの奥さんは美人じゃねえよ。Intonation 合ってますか? Does this sound natural? Alright, so let's see.
おめえの奥さんは美人じゃねえよ.
That is excellent. Okay, that's perfect. It's pronounced perfectly. 奥さん. Okay, well, let's see. Alright, let's give it a like. Yeah! すごく自然です. Yes, I agree. Let's give that a like as well. Okay. Oh, here we go. Perfect, but it should be hard to find a situation where you can use this phrase. It can be more arrogant if you say yome-san or kami-san instead of okusan. Okay, so this is really interesting. I actually don't know really why this is the case, but okusan means wife, as in she has already married you. So in a way, comparing the worth of wives is a little bit strange because they already are with somebody. Meanwhile, if you insult them from the point of your bride is unattractive, it kind of opens up the floor to be like, no one wants her. She's just a bride. You didn't marry her yet. And I know that sounds horribly sexist and awful, but Japanese does kind of have that weird poetic thing going on where there's a lot of wordplay making things more insulting because of the root that it comes from. I hope that made sense. I know it's really crappy, but it is what it is. All right, we're gonna give that a like because that was very insightful. Okay, and this is another one.
おめえの嫁さんは美人じゃねえよ.
It's exactly the same. If you change okusan to yome-san, it sounds more casual. Okay, I guess that's also another thing. Maybe yome-san is a more casual thing than okusan. There is a little bit of respect, I think, with saying okusan, like it's a wife. I'm not sure though. And I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please turn on those notifications so you know every time I upload a new episode. Please, in the comment section below, tell me what you find to be the most difficult thing to pronounce in Japanese. And if you guys want to check out HiNative, and I highly recommend you do so, click the link in my description below. Thank you again for watching. Sonja mata ne!